going on? Ken Tizzard here, and welcome to Back on Board with Old Dog Ken Tizzard, my fitness journey at 55 years old. And that's exactly what this is. I'm a 55-year-old guy, about to be 56. I used to be a traveling musician. I was for the better part of 25 years. Being on stage a couple hundred nights a year gave me all the athletic workout I needed. Kept myself in shape doing that. The last few years, life has changed. Of course, 55-year-old musicians are, expired as it would be. My wife is ill. I have to stay home and take care of her. Life gets a little tough, so I'm not touring as much as I was. Last year, I decided to get back into skateboarding. I used to skateboard as a kid in St. John's back in the 80s in St. John's, Newfoundland. The big bowl that is St. John's. Spend the day getting downtown, find some flat ground downtown with some of the punk rock friends and hang out and shred throughout the day. There was no parks, there was no bowls. Occasionally somebody'd have a ramp or something like that, but for the most part it was just getting from A to B and sort of moving around and having some fun. Bones Brigade was just happening. We're starting to see tricks through Thrasher magazine and stuff. It was a really exciting time in skateboarding. By the time I was 30, I was still kind of skateboarding, but not a lot. I had an old Zorlak board that I used to use to get to and from where I was going in Toronto and stuff when I moved up there, but I wasn't an active skateboarder for a long time. Mostly because I had started working as a professional musician, and the idea of hurting myself and not being able to play was a big thing, because the managers, labels, record companies, crew, all the staff from all these people, they're all relying on you for a paycheck. So it wasn't easy to say, oh, I'm going to go out and shred around and probably hurt myself. And when I was on tour in Australia, I actually did that. At the beginning of an Australian tour, I took a wipe out going down to the beach and scuffed up, I think it was this arm, I can't even remember now. It was this arm. From elbow right to wrist, sort of full on burnout. Didn't break anything, so the tour was fine, but it got me thinking, oh, if I do break something, this can be pretty serious. So I made the decision to stick with my profession of being a musician instead of skateboarding, which I was never going to be a pro at anyways. Last winter, I realized, now that I'm homebound and I'm taking care of my wife a lot, I realized how much time I'm just sitting on the couch. My wife has MS. It got pretty progressive. She had a stem cell bone marrow transplant, and now she doesn't have use of either of her legs, and this arm is pretty wonky, so she needs me around full time, and I love it. I don't mind it. It does mean that I'm not touring as much, and it does mean that I'm not exercising as much. So last year I decided, I said to Alison, I think I want to start skateboarding again. And she said, oh my God, Ken, she said, you can't go skateboarding. What if you hurt yourself? You got to take care of me. What if you break a leg or you break an arm? And I said, okay. I said, well, what if I just get a cruiser or something just to push around, and we'll take this really slow. And she said, only if you wear full equipment. So that's, helmet, wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads. I even bought a pair of sort of hip pads that go under my shorts. And I said, sure. And I got myself a cruiser. Went out on my first day and pulled my calf muscle. I got about a block and a half away from house. I was just pushing, and just something popped in my calf. I guess sitting on the couch for a year and a half and then getting out and going skateboarding full on was not a good idea. So I ended up taking a couple weeks off after my first time out, and then I slowly went back at it again, realizing that I can't just get on it and pick up where I was 25 years ago. So a lot of last winter I spent in the house just doing simple things on a carpet. Some of these things involving stepping on and off the skateboard repeatedly. Just the basic stance, your front foot on the front bolts, your back foot on the back bolts, and then your back foot off, and then your front foot off, and then repeating that. Standing on the board, with your front leg in place and doing a sort of semi-half squat on one leg, and then back up again. These things here, I did a lot of that throughout the winter, just standing in front of the TV on a little 2x3 piece of carpet with a freestyle board that I bought. And I did buy a freestyle board. We'll get into all the anatomy of that. But throughout the winter, I did all these exercises just in the house. They were non-moving exercises. They were just exercises on the skateboard. And they really kind of helped me to get my muscles back in shape and my joints and all that stuff, as opposed to going out and just skating right away. And then of course the spring hit, and I found skate park for the first time, ramps and ledges and rails and stairs and all kinds of inclines. What a great thing. So I went crazy on that in the spring. And then I finally, in the late spring, delved into the bowl, got really into bowl skating, some vert skating throughout the summer, working my way up, getting halfway up to the coping and having a grand old time just carving around. Did that for a while again, realizing that, you have a mistake when you're cruising a bowl and you're going to fall 4 feet. Yeah, you've got your pads on, but it's still going to hurt. And I did have a couple bad falls this summer that the pads really helped out with. So that was nice. Then again, throughout the summer, I kind of abandoned the vert just because it's a little more on the dangerous side, and I don't quite think I'm up to it yet. I enjoy cruising around the bowl, but doing tricks and stuff in there is not something that I'm into at this point in time. It just seems above my ability and above my safety zone. And at 55, safety is an important thing. I know you kids out there, the younger guys and the girls are out there, you're doing crazy stuff and you can fall over and over again. And I get it. I used to be like that too. I can't do that now. I mean, if I fall, it's a big impact on the body at this age. So I've tried to keep my skating relatively safe. Now I know that sounds weird because skateboarding involves falling. Falling is part of the sport. So there are tons of resources out there on how to fall on a skateboard. I do recommend you looking out for some of those. But this winter I'm going to focus on some stationary work here in the shed. I'll give you a little tour of the shed now in a second. We're going to do some stationary work here in the shed, which involves basically standing on and off the board in different positions, going in and out of some tricks, and also using gymnastic rings to help with balance. You can use 1 or 2 or a fence or whatever you've got handy to you. But when you're first learning these things, breaking down the anatomy of a trick, going in and out of rail, there's 3 primary ways of doing that. And then there's getting out of rail, which is, hundreds of combinations. But some of these things, a lot of the stuff that's online, I found was based around, hey, here's the trick. This is one of the easiest skateboarding tricks either. And then they'll do like a strawberry milkshake or a shove it or something. And you go, okay, cool. And then you think, oh, that's the easiest trick. This should be easy. It's not. The mechanics of a shove it is really, really, for somebody who doesn't know how to skateboard or somebody who's learning, it's a really complex maneuver. Not only do you have to be able to balance on your board and fight the front and back gravity as the wheels go forward, but you're also spinning the board 180 degrees under your feet without it flipping over this way. So you want it to stay flat. So there's a certain way it's got to flip. There's a certain way your feet have to go. And what I found that I did over this summer was broke all of these tricks down into segments. And I do these segments as a part of an exercise routine. It's really just exercise. This is not skateboarding. If you want to learn how to skateboard, there are 1,000 videos out there on how to skateboard and how to do tricks, how to push, simple, intermediate, hard, whatever. And I'll talk about all the people who do that because there's some people out there doing fantastic jobs on these instructional videos. That's not what I'm doing. This isn't how to skateboard. This is an exercise routine using a skateboard that will build up elements that you can use to put together tricks. I hope that makes sense. This is going to be happening over from January till May, 22 weeks, twice a week. We're going to have Monday muscle memories and Friday footwork. And these are going to be just little 3 to 5 minute segments, I think, where I do part of what I do, show you how to do it, and then you do it along with me if you want to do it at home. Or what I'm even more interested in is hearing your feedback. Send me a video of how you would do it, and let's talk about that. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I could do better. I know the internet is full of people who just want to slam things, and this is going to be a prime opportunity too, because A, I'm on a skateboard, but I'm not skateboarding. B, I'm cheating using the rings. C, I'm not out rolling around. I am abusing all of the routines of skateboarding that make you a better skater. But I'm also just doing something that feels really cool to me. During the winter now, here in Canada, there's not much going to be time to skate, so I come out in the garage, I throw on the fireplace, I stand on my board, do whatever, I'm having my coffee, whatever, and just for half an hour, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour, just moving my feet around, working up a sweat, and doing it in a safe environment. I know that when I take these tricks to the park next spring and I start doing them moving and stuff like that, it's going to be a whole other learning experience, and we will talk a lot about that. But if you want to come along with me for the next little while, feel free. In the meantime, you can check out some of my skate videos. I'm going to put them all into one playlist right now so you can delve in and sort of look at my work over the last year, everything from the very first time I stood on the skateboard just doing some tic-tacking last year this time, to a big wipeout I had in the bowl and some freestyle progress. It's all there, so I'll put that all up for you to see. Again, my name is Ken Tizzard. This is Back on Board with old dog Ken Tizzard. My fitness journey at 55. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to start today with a little something that everybody loves. Wow, we're going to do an unboxing. If you're going to be skateboarding, you're going to need a good pair of shoes, sneakers. And again, part of my journey was seeing what's changed and what's new in the skateboard world, and everything has changed and everything is new. And since I was skating in the mid-'80s and into the 90s, it's changed so much. There's been so many changes, and I will go through. I'll talk about cruise boards and surf skating, freestyle boards, pool decks, wheel sizes, truck sizes, all these things that I had to figure out this last year. I'm going to explain it all to you. But one of the things you're going to need is a pair of shoes. And when I first started getting back into it, of course, I went for the half cabs, of course, because the half cabs are, it's Steve Caballero's brand, it's Vans, it's cool. A pair of skate shoes is going to run you 100, 120, 150 bucks. What I recommend is find the shoes you like. When I found my half cabs in the right size, I bought a pair out at Tiki Room skateboard shops in Regina, which was a great spot. And I bought my first pair of half cabs there. I fell in love with them. And then went on, a few months later, I started to get the holes in them and stuff, as you do. So I went online, and I can't remember which store it was having their a sale, and it was like 2 for 1. So I got 2 pairs of cabs, and and then I just kind of wore through them over the summer. These were on sale recently, so I ordered them as well. These are going to be my shoes for this segment. I will be wearing these for all of the shows. I love the half cabs. I think they're a really comfortable shoe. They've got a really nice padding in them. They wear down nicely. You do get some threading issues here. And of course the soles are going to wear out. The great thing about a pair of half cabs is once they're done, this is a brand new half cab. This is my pair that I just finished wearing. And as you can see from the bottom here, the soles are kind of gone. Started losing some of the taping along here. But the cool thing about a Van is it has this little elastic inside here, so the tongue stays in. So once you're done with them as a pair of outdoor shoes that you can't get anything else out of, you can use them as slippers. Take the laces out of them. Use them as slippers going around your house. The other thing you'll see is these will not be the laces that I will be using. Let's see if I have a pair of, These are actually Kevlar laces, bulletproof laces. I don't know why they would have to be bulletproof, but I can tell you they are great for skateboarding. When you do a lot of tricks where the board is upside down on the top of your shoe, you go through the shoelaces, especially in this part here, really quick. Kevlar shoelaces will stop that from happening, but we'll get into more of that too. Anyways, once again, my name is Ken Tizzard. I've got my new cabs. We've got the room set up. I've got a whole bunch of notes on how I'm going to produce this. If you have any information for me, or you want to collaborate and be a part of it, and somehow, like maybe what I'll do is, if I'm working on a trick, say I'm going to break down let's do a shove it again. I'll need somebody to show me how a shove it is done properly. Send me a video of you doing a shove it, and we'll use that as the proper example, and then I'll show you what I'm doing and how I'm trying to learn it. It's all about learning together. This isn't a money thing. I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for Patreon. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm looking to share my story and have some fun, meet some cool people. Since I got back into skating, I've met some amazing people. The crew from MLM Skates have been amazing. Yo-Yo Schultz over in Germany, professional skater, has become a buddy of mine. He's really nice to talk to. Witter, who runs Decomposed. All these people are really cool, and all the skaters on the MLM team as well. The freestyle Canadian team it's really neat to be a part of hanging out with them and being a part of what they do. So anyways, that's about enough of this. This is going to start the beginning of January. I'll put a little bit of footage together here now and knock this out for you as a little sort of intro to what's going to be happening. I hope everybody's good out there, and it's never too late to get back on board if you're interested. If you got any questions and you want to know more about this, or if there's something in particular you're having a hard time with, let's talk about it and figure it out. My name is Ken Tizzard. This is Back on Board, my fitness journey at 55. We will be seeing you before too long. Cheers. Have yourselves a great holiday season, and we'll start working out in the new year. All the best.